So I just can't hardly read that. Yeah. Hey, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are going live in the afternoon, kind of part of my work day. The point being, I want to talk about marriage, and I want to explain to everybody kind of what's going on with this thing I keep talking about called the 4-day marriage fix. Maybe you can get some marriage counseling along the way. So the 4-day marriage fix, we'll see if anybody shows up on Facebook and YouTube. So part of the 4-day marriage fix is basically a couple a married couple, husband and wife, who maybe in crisis, maybe just want to get better at marriage or prepare to not crash. Maybe it has to do with affair proofing your marriage. Whatever it is, a couple that needs some help, a couple that needs to better their marriage. They would call me up or go on the website and book a 4-day marriage intensive. And here's what I'm offering. We're going to see if this is going to work. Here's what I'm offering. This idea that you can come to me. If you come to me, that would mean you fly into San Antonio and rent a car, drive out to an Airbnb near me. I have a few of them lined up already, but get an Airbnb or whatever lodging you want. But the lodging would have a meeting area, like a living room or a place where we can meet there. And this is for 4 days. You'd come in the night before. We'd start the first morning at 10 o'clock. And I would spend the first day just getting to know you, understand you, try to figure out what's going on with you, and let you get to know me, build some trust, things like that. The second day, we would start up with, in the morning, with looking at what's broken. Like, why are you here? What do you want my help with? The second afternoon, we'll go out and do experiential therapy, where we go outside. I'll present to you some problem-solving things with some tools I have and things like that. And I'll watch you as a couple try to figure out how to solve problems together, how you work together, how you communicate, everything like that. Third day, and then we'll sit down and process that after you're done. Already, go Ashley. Third day, we'd sit down and start looking at what would it take to fix what's broken. Third day afternoon, we'll probably go to Nuke's Tennis Ranch, where they have a high ropes and low ropes course. If you guys are adventurous and want to do high ropes, then we would do some high ropes stuff for sure. But we definitely do some low rope challenges, things where can be kind of physical and really cool, and then process that. Then the last day, on the fourth day, we spend all morning looking at, all right, here are the solutions and what you're going to have to change. And this is why you are the way you are. It's why you have to change, how you're going to need to change in order to have your marriage fixed. The last afternoon, we would look at, all right, what is your commitment whenever you go back home? What are your commitments? Hi, Amanda, on YouTube. What are your commitments? So that's a 4-day marriage intensive. Now, again, we can do that by you coming to me in the San Antonio area, we can do that by you having me come to you. I can come to you. What that would look like would be you'd have to pay for the day of travel, pay for my travel, for my lodging, and basically 2 days that I miss counseling, traveling there and traveling back, which is about $750 probably, maybe $1,000. So, um, but I can come to you. Or third option, and we can do all the same stuff there. Third option is you pick a destination, I meet you there. You pay for my travel, you pay for my lodging there, but I meet you there in the Bahamas. I meet you there in Jamaica, Florida, Canada, Alaska. You name it, I will meet you there and do 4 days of counseling with you. So there you go. That is what a 4-day marriage fix is. And I'm really hoping I can grow this market. I need some SEO help, by the way. I'm going to have to hire probably an SEO company to make sure I'm on. I have a Google presence whenever people search. So let me ask you guys a question. If your marriage is struggling and you're looking for some marriage help, what would you Google into? And you're not just looking for a counselor, like you want some personalized marriage help. You don't really want to do a group retreat. You want to go somewhere with your marriage where they spend time with you, like a 4-day marriage fix. What would you type into Google looking for that? It's one of my biggest challenges is what would I type into Google trying to optimize my search results? What would you type in to Google if that were you? Good call, Ashley, but maybe something else. Save my marriage. That's good. I know, Ashley. So, marriage counseling or help with my marriage. Yes, I do telehealth. If somebody just, I'm sorry, I'm trying to chew up this piece of candy in my mouth. If somebody wants to just do counseling, online counseling with me, online telehealth counseling, you can go to my website, stevelevitt.org, and book an appointment there. So, yes, I'm doing telehealth. Amanda asked, what about if you're not in a crisis, you just want to strengthen your marriage? Absolutely. I do that half the time. There's no sliding scale. Sorry, it's $165 a session for Christian-based marriage tips. That's good. It's 165 for a counseling session, which is about an hour. Hey, Samantha, I was asking if you were going to type in, you didn't want to just do a 1 hour marriage counseling session, and you want to find some place to go, like a like rehab, I guess. But you don't want a group retreat, which is they're common and they're everywhere. You want personalized counseling. That's what I do. That's what we call the 4-day marriage fix. But I'm having trouble figuring out what to set my parameters for in a search engine. And I have all these keywords like tags like marriage help, marriage counseling, marriage retreat, and things like that. But I'm wondering what marriage call it marriage rehab. Well, I'm calling it. I've already got a name for it. That's why it's the 4-day marriage fix. 4-day marriage fix is the name I'm using right now for what I do. Um, marriage rehab is good though. I like that. Again, I'm not sure if people search for that. Why do you think I don't have one person on Facebook live? It's interesting. Maybe everybody else is working. I don't have one person that has joined the live on Facebook. Interesting. Um, there you go. Samantha. I hope that helps. Says, what if your partner won't even go to counseling with you? Well, you don't have a lot of choice. You can't force them to go. Maybe you can go yourself. And ultimately, it's about leverage. It's about uh, do you have any leverage? In other words, as they won't get help, they won't change, they won't go to counseling. They start feeling distance between the two of you. They start feeling um, uncomfortable, and they don't like it, and they say, "What's wrong?" Well, I need you to work at marriage, and that may include going to counseling. Yes, I have therapy in as a key word. Got to be careful with that word because that's more of a clinical word, and I'm not a clinical counselor. I'm a pastoral counselor, so I have to kind of be careful with that word. But yeah, it's in there. We did counseling, but my therapist is a biblical counselor, so I want to set something up with you soon. All right, Samantha. I would be honored if you wanted to do that. Remember, stevelevitt.org is the website if you want to do that. Stevelevitt.org is a place to set up counseling with me. Um, I do have Christian marriage counseling in all of my search engine optimization stuff. Um, Christian marriage counseling, Christian marriage help. Yep, Amanda, that popped up just as I said it. The exact same thing. Amanda wrote Christian marriage help. Yeah, that's the most predominant Christian marriage help and Christian marriage counseling. The most predominant thing I have in my search engine tags and keywords. God handed me a new commandment: no man shall look another man in the eye while eating his banana. Ryan, that's grossly inappropriate and rude. It's unfortunate that you would come on a live like this and do something like that. What kind of person does that? That's really inappropriate. Hey, Martha. Yeah, they are separate. One is licensed under the state and has to be bound by the state licensures, Samantha. And as a pastoral counselor, I don't do that. I have everything I need to be licensed, but I've chose to forego my licensure in order to be a pastoral counselor. So I don't have any mandates on the from the state and how to regulate how I counsel. Um, I'd go to jail if I had to do the way the licensed LPCs have to be. I just can't do it. So good to see you, Martha. Mentioned my Christianity to my therapist, and she asked me, "Well, do you believe in that?" You missed him, Ashley. You could have sent somebody to the corner, Ashley. Martha beat you to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even in the world of Christian counseling, people who say I'm a Christian counselor, most of my experience has been that they mean that they are a clinical therapist who is also a Christian, and they'll meet you where you are, I guess, if you want. When you come to me, everything filters through a biblical grid. That um, my pastor's heart is going to walk you through what Scripture says about marriage. Um, God designed marriage, and then He gave us a manual on how to do it, how to carry out marriage in order for it to work. If everybody would do that and get that kind of counsel and do what it says, then our divorce rate wouldn't be 50%. Unfortunately, everybody kind of says, well, you do you got to be happy first, things like that. And we end up with a huge divorce. Who's your favorite civil rights leader? Don't have one. I'm sorry. Why do you ask, Hampton? You wouldn't be able to talk about it even if they brought it up. Yes, if they bring it up in a clinical setting and licensed, you can talk about it with them if they bring it up, but that's the only time. And a lot of times people don't bring it up, and so you've wasted 4 sessions before the subject of what does God think about that situation even comes up. You've wasted $500, $600 in 4 sessions before it's even brought up. And I just don't think that works very well. I'm reading Every Man's Battle. Good, Martha. Thank you for recommending it. It's eye opening for me. That's really good. Sure understand men better and whenever you read that book. You might search Christian counseling or counseling for couples. I did put couples in there too, couples therapy, couples counseling in there too. Yeah. Yeah, I think Christian counseling is probably uh, the most used search criteria of all of what I do. The problem is there's 400 million results whenever you put that in there, Christian counseling. You just get lost. I think right now I'm on page 7 of Google. If you Google me, you got to go to page 7 to find it. Now, if you put in 4-day marriage fix, I pop up. Or if you put in Steve Levitt counselor, I pop right up. Steve Levitt counselor pops right up. Uh, but I'm just trying to target all around the country or the world for that matter, that person that is exhausted with their marriage, they're hurting, they're struggling, and it's kind of last ditch, or they really want to grow and deepen their marriage even more, and they go to Google and they type in to search for some program that would personally walk them through growing their marriage without going to a marriage retreat. Many of my people have already been to um, Weekend to Remember or Marriage Restored, or uh, um, all the big ones that focus on the family life, Wind Shape. They all do these big marriage retreats all the time. Uh, so um, that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for personal help, and it's night and day different than sitting in an audience for 2 days, 2.5 days. It's very different interacting. It's counseling. It's one-on-one, face-to-face counseling. My business name, do you have a logo? That's a big part of advertising. Well, my business name is Steve Levitt Counseling. Under Steve Levitt Counseling is 4-Day Marriage Fix, which I have a website, separate website for the 4-Day Marriage Fix, and a website for Steve Levitt Counseling, which is stevelevitt.org. I don't have a logo. I'm debating on that because um, my logo is my mug, my face, basically. You see me because I think people want to see the person they're going to spend time with. I think it matters to people, the person they're going to spend time with. So, hey, if anybody's on Facebook, I have not had one comment from Facebook. Where are all the people that show up every morning, 50 people every morning on Facebook for the live. I don't have anybody on the Facebook Live. Very interesting. Business name is Steve Levitt Counseling. Yeah, I know you guys are on TikTok. Uh, there's 16 folks on TikTok right now. Middle of the day, I get it. People are busy. It's just odd to me as though something's not working right because I'm live on Facebook and YouTube, and Amanda's on YouTube. She's been commenting. Thank you, Amanda. But not one person has commented on Facebook yet. Very interesting to me what that's all about. Maybe people just don't watch lives in the middle of the afternoon. And I'm not in any hurry. I do have an appointment this afternoon, but I don't have anything. There we go. There's Facebook. Hey, Tom and Stephanie. Popped over from TikTok to see if it's working. I don't know who that is. Who is that? I can't see your name. You'd have to redo your settings, but smiley face says that you popped over from TikTok. Thank you for letting me know it's working. I guess people just Google 4-day marriage fix and don't see your name, your retreat. It's all one word, which is a whole nother issue. People aren't going to look for that anyway. It's all one word. The number 4 and day marriage fix. Um, all one word, all together, which is still disappointing, Amanda. You'd think that Samantha, all right, was booted. You'd hope that 4-day marriage fix would pop up. I've only had the site up for about 4 or 5 days, so it may not even be registering in Google yet. But would you try that, Amanda? Uh, the number 4-day marriage fix, all one word, no spaces, and see if it comes up. Thank you for sharing, Martha. It was Samantha actually that popped over. Um, yeah, so I am open to any questions or comments anybody has. Anybody would like to name fixed? Yes, Samantha. John, you fixed it. Good job, Samantha. Yes, tried that as well. But it's extremely disappointing. Now, if you put in 4daymarriagefix.com, you'll go straight to you'll go straight to the website. Ashley has an idea. Try that one for me, Amanda. Just put in 4daymarriagefix.com. See if it'll pull the website up for you. You need a blog that can be shared on Pinterest and Facebook. Everybody keeps telling me that. I'm just not going to do it. I can video blog, but I don't write blogs. I hate writing. Um, I'll never do it. I'll never keep up with that. Um, maybe I could do a 30-second video blog or something like that. Samantha or Amanda, you able to try 4daymarriagefix.com? I did that and it showed up. Okay. Well, at least it's showing up. It's just not on any of the search stuff yet. And I'm not sure what that's about. I've done all the SEO work I can. I've notified Google. I've let them know. Um, I have a feeling it's just not registered yet. Google just hasn't found it. They have to send their bots out. Martha, thank you for your kind words. I have tried and tried to blog. I have great content. I can't put it into word form. Remember, I was dyslexic whenever I graduated high school. Really, English is terrible for me. Um, and I just hate doing it. So I don't know about the whole blog thing. What do y'all think are the best times to go on lives? Other than first thing in the morning is good. I think evening works pretty well. What other times would be good to do lives? Marriage tip for empty nesters. That's good. Tips for couples with little children. Very good. Tips for bickerness. I think you meant bitterness. Is that right? Oh, bickers. Tips for bickers. Late night with the crazies. I actually think that may be a great idea. I might try to do that, like a 9:30 at night, and tell the moderators don't bust anybody, and just let her rip, Tater Chip. That might be a good idea. I'm glad Facebook was working. Thank you guys and that's just that nobody's watching. I have 3,500 members of the QT Bible Study and Hope Shines Ministry. But nobody's watching. Well, I'm going to jump off for now. I just wanted to say hi and uh, break out the Bobo clown tricks. I might do that. Well, that'll really draw in the crazies. Everybody who's high, I'll freak them out. All right, I'm going to jump off, you guys. Thank you so much for your help. If you have more ideas, let me know. I'm still trying to figure out. I got to make a living. I'm on my own now, and I've got to make a living. I've got to fill my counseling schedule, and I really want to be able to do these 4-day marriage fixes. 2 or 3 a month of the 4-day marriage fix tips for blended families. Please. Yeah, let me tell you about blended families real quick. The divorce rate is 75%. 3 out of 4 blended families don't make it. Actually, that stat is for second marriages, but it's more precisely for blended family second marriages. And there's a reason for that, because it's easy for a couple of 25-year-olds to get married and grow together. They're poor together. They blend their money easy together. They have mutual children together, and they grow up and get married. But whenever you have been set in your ways, you've been married to a certain person a certain way for amount of time, and you share children with that person, and then that divorce happens, and now you find somebody else who has their own ex and their own children. The number one problem that happens is loyalty. We expect that whenever I marry somebody, I become their number one priority, other than God, that I am their priority, that I'm most important to them. But you're asking that of somebody who has loved their children longer than they've loved you. And those children are their blood. In all actuality, they love them more than you. They would die for them. There's something supernatural in our DNA that is protective and devoted to those children that you can't just get rid of. And yet you're supposed to make your spouse your priority, right? They're supposed to be the most important thing in your life. You see the conflict that happens now. And what happens is this other person begins to resent those children. And they resent you because you don't give all of yourself to this person. And you shouldn't. You owe your children biblically devotion. But you're divided now in what your devotion should be. I think that's why God says that He hates divorce, because it just has such far-reaching implications. Not to mention, you're married to this person, and guess who's lingering over in the corner of your marriage? Their ex. the kid's father, the kid's mother, and you have to compromise. You have to give in to this person. If you're smart, you're nice to that person. Well, my new wife isn't gonna have anything to do with me being nice to my ex-wife. She's the competition. She's the enemy. And you've already told her, the new wife, all the horrible things about her to justify your divorce. So you've built her to be a monster always, and yet you're being nice to that monster and you're not always nice to me. It's just very difficult to do blended family. I do online telehealth counseling, yes. You can make an appointment, stevelevitt.org. Stevelevitt.org is the website. Go on there and you can book an appointment with me uh, through my website, stevelevitt.org. Be. That statistic is heartbreaking. Yeah, it's very difficult. Hey, Sooner. I'm divided between my husband and special needs child. And I'm assuming it's not your husband's child. Um, Whenever things like that happen, you have to go into the marriage knowing you're not going to get all of your spouse. You're just not going to get all your special needs. Uh, the divorce rate with special needs children is huge because of the amount of devotion special needs requires, takes away from the amount of devotion it takes to be married well. So you have to be gracious, forgiving, careful, cautious, and all those other things. It is his son. Okay. Well, yeah, they just don't understand that there has to be devotion. But I would tell you, you have to work overtime to try to meet your husband's needs, to make him, you can't just say, you're the expendable one here. I'm here to take care of my kid. You can't do that and expect good marriage. You have to figure out a way to meet your husband's needs, to make him feel like a man, to make him feel important, to make him feel like a priority while still taking care of your child. You can't just say, "Well, we have a special needs child. You don't get anything in the marriage now." You've got to. I'm so sorry, Victorious Charlie. I'm so sorry to hear about that. That it was a drowning accident. That's so difficult, Charlie. Um, and I don't think there's anybody to blame necessarily, but you've got to, if you want good marriage, you've got to do things that good marriage. Look, Ramsey says if you want to be poor, do things that poor people do. If you want to be rich, then do things that rich people do. If you want good marriage, then do things that good marriage people do. If you want bad marriage, then do the things that bad marriage people do. Like don't pay attention to each other, don't have sex, don't talk, don't spend quality time together, don't validate feelings. That'll get you bad marriage. You have to do things that build your marriage up, no matter what the environment or circumstances are around you. Is Hippie in the house? Hey, Hippie. Hippie, don't forget, I want you to watch Jesus Revolution and give me a book report. I want to know what you think about the Jesus Revolution movie. Be a good listener, Hippie says. That's always a good advice, Hippie. Be a good listener. You're welcome, Charlie. Hang in there. I can't imagine many more difficult situations than what you have, Charlie. But you won't be given more than you can handle. God will give you the ability to handle that situation and love your husband well and your child. Tondo, that's awesome. I love that. You bet. You bet, Sooner. So my wife passed away with cancer, Charlie. I was married for 6 years. We had two small children. My wife was diagnosed with cancer and died. And I was left with a 4-year-old child, I mean, a 2-year-old child and a 4-month-old daughter that my wife had just given birth to. And I went through a really, really hard season with that. Your situation may be even more difficult, probably. But I'm not a stranger to hard stuff. And God prevails, and God is still good. You're right. Hey, Michaela, what's up? Oh, I was wondering if anybody from Facebook would show up. We're just doing a random afternoon live today. To be honest, I'm kind of marketing, trying to let everybody know about our 4-day marriage fix. You can go to the website, all one word, 4DayMarriageFix.com. One word, 4DayMarriageFix.com. Or if you want counseling, just one-on-one telehealth online counseling, you can go to stevelevitt.org, Leavitt, Leavitt. Hippie says, my wife passed when she was 36. Wow. Hippie, I'm so sorry, man. It's hard, brother. I'm sure you could share. You mind me asking what happened, Hippie? Um, how did you lose your wife? Lung cancer. Oh, man. That is so hard. I think that it's hardest whenever it's an untimely death. I can let my grandparents go. They've lived a full life, and it's time for them to go. But I think untimely death is way more frightening to us in general. Um, it's difficult for sure. Yeah, I think Ashley says I think people can grieve other things other than just death. Absolutely. I talk about that with my clients all the time. That I tell them I believe that they're grieving, and what it is you are grieving the loss of dot dot dot, whatever that is. Grief is something that you do when you've experienced loss something. Divorce is worse than death. I'll tell you this, that I would have rather my wife to have died than to come to me and tell me she was cheating on me. Um, as I've worked with couples who are experiencing betrayal in their marriage, I believe it's probably more painful than losing your spouse to death, um, for sure. Hippie's remarried. All right, Hippie. What's your wife's name? What's your real name, Hippie? I don't even know what your real name is. My wife suffered for a year. Actually, she was diagnosed in November and died the next November. Thank you, Hippie. Um, you have a daughter that's 29. I love it. Her name's Lori, and you're Grant. Grant and Lori. Well, Grant, I love that you come and hang out with us some, Grant. I appreciate you. I bet you're a good dude. I bet I'd meet you and want to hang out with you, Grant. I bet you're just a good dude. You should come to our get together we're having April 1st in New Braunfels, Texas. Uh, bring Lori. Oh, journey healing. Amen. What a difficult situation for sure. Michaela is one of my biggest fears is losing my husband. It was mine too. It was my greatest fear. I used to pray constantly, Lord, please don't ever take my life. Greatest fear. The good news is that God will walk you through. Hey, Hampton wants to know what my pronouns are. Don't block him. Wants to know what my pronouns are. Hampton, why do you want to know? If you can tell me why you want to know, I'll answer your question. Why do you want to know what my pronouns are, Hampton? Tell me why you would ask. No, my daughter. Grief is hard. Grief is hard. Amen. But it's not impossible to overcome. God gives us grief and then asks us to move through it. So I can be respectful when referring to you. Well, I'll tell you, I appreciate that, Hampton. I appreciate you wanting to be respectful of me, but what you call me has no bearing on my feelings. I don't think it's disrespectful. You can call me whatever you want, and I don't give you or anyone else the power to make me feel any way. I know who I am. I know who I am in Christ, and so it doesn't matter what somebody calls me. You don't have the power to offend me at all. So you can call me whatever you like. I don't mind at all. Um, I just don't give anybody else that kind of power in my life. But thank you. Weird to go straight to defensiveness instead of answering an easy question. Oh, you thought I was being defensive. I'm sorry you thought I was being defensive. I wasn't at all. Thanks, hippie. Are you, Hampton? Tell me a little bit about you. What's your story? What are you all about, Hampton? Let us know who you are. What are you all about? I'd love to know some more about you, Hampton. A business coach is battling cancer right now. She's so healthy. I'm scared for her. Cancer is frightening. Yep, but Psalm 139 says, Michaela, that God numbers our days before even one of them comes about. Before you're even born, God has determined how many days you can live on this earth, and our worry doesn't change that at all. And so we have to be willing to accept our worst case scenarios and the things we're most afraid of. Hey, Big Joe, good to see you, brother. All right, hippie. Peace out, brother. Hampton, you still in the house? Jewel says he won't marry me. It's been 7 years. Jewel, that's on you. Sorry, don't want to be ugly about it. But if he won't marry you and it's been 7 years, uh, I believe it's on you. You've got to make the next step. You've got to make the next decision. And, a man who's getting everything he wants without the commitment of marriage is not likely to want to marry. Um, and so if you don't know what you want in a year or two, then you're not gonna figure it out. Time to move on, Jewel. I'm sorry to say, time for you to move on to somebody who will appreciate you enough to want you for a lifetime and not share you with anybody else. Hey, Shannon, I'm trying to save my marriage, but my wife wants nothing to do with saving it. All you can do is be the best man you can be. Honor her, be kind to her, love her, and that's all you can do. You can't force her. You can't make it happen. Let her know that you don't want a divorce and that you're going to wait around. So, what you're saying is God knows everything. Yes. That's a setup question, by the way. Just so y'all know, that's a setup question. Because the next statement is going to be, oh, so he knows about murder and babies and evil in the world. Next statement. Hey, Seth says, I'm trying to save my marriage. Okay, got that responded to. Why buy the cow whenever you can get the milk for free, basically? Yep, you got it. I was going to say that, but that was kind of crude. Steve, do you know, Martian, you told the story of your dog with the truck story? Yeah, I know. I tell that story all the time. It's a great story. My dog, Zach, jumped out of the back of my truck. Haven't told that story in a while, though. Jewel says, no car, no income. Guess homelessness is my option. No, it is not your option. Go out and get a job and save your money and buy a car, Jewel. That's your choice, Jewel. You don't need a man. You don't need a man to survive. You have everything you need. Go get a job, make some money, buy a car, or take the bus. Um, you're not a victim, Jewel, of your circumstances. You can overcome your circumstances. Hippie's back. All right, Hippie, glad you're back. For a sec. Jewel says we are celibate. He's older. Got it. I understand. But he's not willing to marry you. Jewel, you're worth more than that. Go find somebody who wants what you have to offer for a lifetime in loyalty and devotion and commitment to marriage. You're worth more than that, Jewel. You can do it. And you're not a victim of your circumstances. Don't rely on him or the government or anybody else. Go get a job, make some money, and support yourself. You can do it. Millions of people do it every day. You can too. Have you ever been homeless? I have. It's a kitty. No, I haven't been homeless because I choose not to be homeless. I choose to do my life in a way that keeps me from being homeless. You don't have to be homeless. Yes, but I see content came across my screen. Never told this. An old story. I got it, Joe. Yeah, I've been telling that story since college. Great story. Martha, grab a hold of her, Martha. Let her know. Let her know, Martha. You're the perfect person to speak with Jewel. Hippie's looking out for me. Thanks, Hippie. Thanks, brother. I can hold my own, and I kind of invite difficult things sometimes, and that's all right. Uh, love you, brother. Yeah, that's good. As I shared the story on Facebook, beautiful. Prayer's going to have heart surgery. All right, man. We'll be praying for you. And what's your real name, Ian? So we can be praying for you in the heart surgery you're about to have. My mom worked 4 jobs just to make ends meet when my dad left. Well, you got that. I love that. Jill says, must be nice to judge others. I'm sorry you feel like that's judging. I consider what I just shared with you love. I love you enough to tell you the truth so that you don't have to be a victim and be treated poorly. And I told you your worth and your value. I'm sorry that you feel like that's judging. You probably have some other issues going on. Enrique, I'll be praying for your heart surgery, brother. God knows, and God's got it. So rest. Oh, Henry. Who's Enrique? Henry or is Enrique? Is Enrique Spanish for Henry, like Steve and Esteban? Steven is my name. My Mexican friends call me Esteban. All right, now I got it. Enrique. Enrique. I cannot roll my R's today. Enrique. Got it though. He's just spreading what he believes, not some disrespect from whomever. Thanks, hippie. All right. Anybody else? You notice the pronoun guy didn't stick around. I like having those conversations. I wish that he would have stuck around. I could have had more of a conversation with him. Uh, but that's too bad. I like having conversations with those guys. Because their agenda and platform falls apart really quick. Whenever and they have to really think about, man, my question's really dumb. What are your pronouns? Basically. All right, Enrique, we'll be praying for you, man. Good to meet you. I'm here every morning, 7:30 Central. 7:30 Central. I do live Bible study. Hey, Henry, come back in here tomorrow morning or after the surgery, whenever you're feeling better or whatever. Come back 7:30 in the morning. Let us know how your heart surgery went. I'd love to hear a follow-up. It's 7:30 live on here every morning. Thank you, Ashley. My website is stevelevitt.org. If you want to make a counseling appointment, stevelevitt.org. All right, hippie, we'll see you tomorrow. stevelevitt.org if you want to make a counseling appointment. If you're interested in hardcore marriage help, I have what I call the 4-day marriage fix, where it's me and you in 4 days of fixing what's broken in your marriage. So I'd love to book some of those if somebody's interested in doing a 4-day marriage fix. That one is it's just 4daymarriagefix.org, all one word. The number 4daymarriagefix.org. If you want to, if you want to get marriage help that way. Counseling is stevelevitt.org if you want to book a counseling appointment. That's Steve Levitt, LEAVITT.org if you want to make it. All right, we're going to wrap it up. How much for the 4-day marriage fix? It's $3,000. $3,000. Basically, if you do the math, it's 20 hours of counseling, and it's the equivalent. It's actually cheaper than paying for 20 hours of counseling through 1-hour counseling sessions. It's 25 hours a day, 20 hours of counseling. Thank you, Martha. And then the number 4-day marriage fix. The other website. Hey, sissy. Thanks, sissy. I appreciate that. All right. Let me end Facebook over here.